Now, first of all, I need to go. Me and Emma might know it, but I've been stalking her over the last few years. But I've been stalking her athletic career right back from she was at All Ireland Schools. I've seen her win All Ireland Schools gold medals. I've seen her win silver medals. I've seen her win bronze medals. And I have to tell you, her Northern Ireland record now for 5,000 metres on the track, 15:50. Now, remember, that was Teresa Duffy's record, and anybody that remembers Teresa Duffy about 27 years later, Teresa Duffy was a phenomenal athlete, and it's 27 years later, and I should say our 10,000 metre record, 32:50, 49. 49. 32:49 for 10k. Again, Teresa Duffy's record, and I thought, you know, you could have said a few years ago, you'll never see another woman in the north that can run that quick, and, you know, there's people here like, you know, we go to a wee thing in London, not a wee thing, a big thing in London, that actually come out of the Armagh 5k. What's his name that runs the night of 10k's, Eamon?
Ben Pochie.
Ben Pochie comes to our race and he put on what they call a night of 10k's in London. It's, if you can get to go 1 year, look up, go to it, fabulous, fabulous night. We've been there this last couple of years. We've been there with Stuart Candy. I have to say, is probably the best athlete in this room, men-wise. This is the best athlete in the room, you know. But he was a superstar too. I know, looking at him now, he couldn't run to the shop like what. He was. When Stuart was on it, Stuart went home from the Armagh International and said, "We have to be able to do something in London that's like that." And that's what he come up with, the night of 10k's. And last year, the three of us was there with Emma when she set that new record. And what a night it was. Listen, it's worth going to. You might, everybody going to the London Marathon. I'm telling you now, if you're going to, with some of your athletes, the London Marathon, try to go just that night of 10k. It's a fabulous, fabulous night, like, you know. So, we're back to this here. Where am I going to start here? I know where I will start. You might not remember this, but I remember it. First time I seen you racing, I was standing with this man at Tullamore at the All Ireland Schools. That's another wee hit I'm going to hit. All Ireland Schools. You can't, track and field, you can't go to anything better. Fabulous, fabulous day. But Emma was there in the 800 and 1500. And in both races, she was beat by less than a second by Amy O'Donoghue. Do you remember that? Yeah. Now, I remember being with Emma, and I mind seeing her just getting pipped on the line for the 800. And was the 800 first? It was?
800 was first.
Yeah, 1500 was later. Pipped on the line again by Amy O'Donoghue again. Now, we were going home in the car, and I was saying to somebody in the car, Emma's away home with 2 silver medals out of the All Ireland Schools, you know, and I'll give you, like, I spent time with Arshina, 4 years, she qualified, last. Now, she was lost because she had trouble with her breathing, and down there, she just, it was a knockback. But now, the last year it was raining, no heat, we had a chance. Now, with 200 metres to go, she was still in the lead, 150 metres to go, she was second. 75 metres to go, she was third. A metre out, she was still third, but over the line, she was fourth. And cried the whole way at home to Kerr.
Cried for a year.
Yeah. And I says to her, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to make you run home the 7 mile from Kerr. I'll stop crying because I've never run again. That was the word, you know. But just to come home with 1 All Ireland Schools medal, yet this girl was going home with 2 silver ones. And I was wondering, I wonder if I'm happy or not. Well, we're going to find out. Are you happy? No.
It's sort of mixed emotions because obviously you come off the track and it's fantastic, and you're met by Eamon and my mum, and they're all, you know, it's, you know, you take for granted now how big of a deal the schools are, and obviously the Armagh athletes at the minute will go through that and have been through that. You know, you have to go through the rounds, and I won the Ulster schools and very convincingly won them, and then you go to the All Ireland with like high expectations, and you know, you always want to win, and winning the Ulster schools, you wanted to win the Irish to do the 3, the districts, the Ulsters, the Irish, and yeah, coming away with a silver in both of them was disappointing, but then you have to come off the track, and Eamon's really good at putting it into perspective. He's like, yeah, but you know, there's only one person that has just beat you, and as you say, by less than a second, you know, you are the second fastest at those 2 distances over the Irish schools. You know, you have to look at it, but I don't think there was any tears. Now, I don't think there was tears because you still have 2 silver medals to show for it, but it just drives you on. Then I went back the next year and I won the 3,000 as well, so can't complain.
Now,
I'm back on it now.
How many All Ireland Schools titles did you win altogether, can you?
I think I've won about 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Listen,
yeah.
All Ireland Schools are a super title to win, like, you know. You know, and Eamon, this is our coach here. Eamon's always been at our side, and he's also worked with Kerr again, like, you know. So you know, it's been good. Now, from you come on to school, and this is me looking at it now. I'm looking at it, not saying it's right, like, but what I seen was there's a wee time we're all looking you to move here, which is hard to do, and a lot of athletes will finish going here, but you hoovered about there, and then all of a sudden, this last 2-3 years, you've got that kick that really has brought you on a lot, like, you know.
Yeah.
What would you put down that, you know, that got you that extra jump? Like, what did you change? What did you do? Or what did he tell you to do? Or what did he tell you not to do? You know?
I think, you know, you have to remember that you're still, you know, you're going through your teenage years, and, you know, you've got to remember school is everything. So we all go through a little period where, you know, you're maybe not running 100% where you want to be in that. But I remember in 2016, I remember Eamon saying, you know, the Commonwealth Games are in 2018, and, you know, I really believe that you can make those championships, and obviously he outlined other championships as well. And Eamon's always been really good at, you know, saying how much potential that I have, and I just remember him saying Commonwealth Games was one of the things, and that was in 2016 that we were sort of thinking about, and then obviously we planned to move up the distance. I think Eamon always knew, and I sort of felt that we were going to be a longer distance athlete, but obviously, you know, you've got to nurture the talent that you have, and, you know, skills competitions and stuff. It's not right at that age to be going out and sort of 10Ks and that. And I think at the end of 2016, sort of November time, we had trained. We did a really good block of training, upped sort of, you know, the number of reps we were doing. Nothing drastic. We didn't change, you know, our structure or anything like that. And the plan was all the same, and we made our debut over the 10,000 metres. It was a 10K at the Sealy, which is in Armagh Park in Belfast. So I went out there, and I remember going off really, really hard, and over that first 3K, and somebody said, Damon, is she going to hold it? And he just said, well, wait and see. And I did, and I ran really well. I think I just ran under 34 minutes there, and that was sort of the start of sort of this past 2 years where things have really moved forward. And I think that's it's just real dedication and hard work. And I have to say, obviously moving up to the longer distance has really suited me. I love the longer training, I love the long runs, tempos, and I think when you're best suited to the training and you love doing the training, I think that lends itself to the racing and natural progression towards, you know, achieving qualifying standards. And I think I had a clear plan as well. 2017 for me was all about getting those Commonwealth standards, and I knew when I got the Commonwealth standards I would get like Northern Ireland records and stuff like that as well. So having that plan, having that drive is something to work towards, and obviously it was something new as well. You know, 3 3/4 laps for 1500 and jumping to 25 laps is massive. We sort of bypassed 5K with the view that we were going to 10K, but I think, you know, the planning and preparation for the training, and just really committing to it, and as we heard earlier, looking after the other side. Even always says to me, when I leave the track, it's up to me to go home and rest and recover and nap. I do nap, and, you know, you gotta make sure you commit to the other side as well. You know, making sure you're doing all that right, and the training as well. And
one thing you said there, I just need to touch on. You said about enjoying your running. That's the most important thing I can say to anybody. The one thing you must do is enjoy your running. If you're not enjoying your running, you need to take a wee break, take a wee step back, and it'll come back. You'll get, you know, it's like being motivated and not being motivated. When you're not motivated, you could go to the bedroom, put on your running gear, and go, no, take the running gear off again, and you're done. But when you are motivated, you'll find out, I'm going for an hour of the night, you might not be back in the house for 75 or 80 minutes. But enjoying your running is everything, and you tipped on it. And we know by looking at you how much you're enjoying your running at the minute. Now, I'm going to go on to something else, and I don't know if we should say this or not. Where is the plan for the future? Are you going to let us know where you're going or where you're heading? Is Tokyo out there 2020 marathon, 10K, where?
definitely the marathon, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, qualifying standard is what? 2:30.
Hasn't been given out. The
Is it not?
qualifying period starts on the 1st of January 2019.
Right, and it'll be roughly.
And the Olympic Council will release their qualifying dates, and then Athletics Ireland will release theirs.
So,
But the last twice it's been 2 hours 38 minutes.
so right, go on ahead. That's well within your grasp anyway. So go on.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to go next year, spring 2019. and the plan is obviously do all the preparation, be in that start line, ready to go and give it a really good go. The plan is to get it like I done, as you say, in Highgate in London. We had trained for the 10,000 metres from sort of mid-summer of 2016. We trained and then come into my first 10,000 metres on the track in London, and it is such a fantastic event. But I think the preparation was all there, and we had planned to get the Commonwealth standard at that meet. So there was pressure, but to get that there and have it out of the way for, you know, the following year, for April of 2018, and I think for a marathon that will be equally as important, just to get out there in the best shape, do all the training, get on that start line and get the qualifying standard outright.
So have you pinpointed a marathon where you're going to go for qualifying time yet, or?
No, probably London in 2019, yeah.
So that'll be
So
London
it's
next
not
year.
all, yeah.
It's not far away at all. You've heard it here first, so here's hoping, like, we wish you luck with all that there anyway. What else? Tell me, favourite event as in your favourite race, like 1500, 3000, 5000, 10,000?
I do like 10,000.
You do like
I
10,000?
do like 10,000. I'll never forget my first one. That 10,000 metres in Highgate, I will never forget it. It's just, you know, I've only raced several times over the 10,000 metres, and every single one I always seem to pick the best ones to go to. The Highgate, the World Universities was my next 10,000. The following one was Commonwealth Games, and the one after was the European Championships. So they've all been fantastic. Never outrunning the 10,000 metres where there's no support. You know, I've had so much support, people in lane 3, and then obviously stepping into the Commonwealth Stadium, and equally in Berlin as well. So I'm going to have to say 10,000.
Yeah. Now, you go and talk to anybody else and say 10,000 metres, 25 laps to the track, and they'll go. But it is the most fascinating race. I don't care. You go right back to the Olympics, right back to 72. And like, everybody knows what I think about 10,000 metres. It's my favourite race, and my biggest regret is I never raced enough of them. But you couldn't get enough good 10,000s in them days. It was impossible. But the 10,000 metres, people say 25 laps. If you're running right and you're there, that gun goes and your head's on it for 25 laps. It'll feel like 25 seconds. But everybody from our club knows Olympic night every 4 years, 10,000 metres. It's a 10,000 metre party in our house. And I can remember, you can go right back to 72 when Fearn done the double. You can go to 76 when Fearn done the double again. And in 72, I can't remember much, but in 76, I mind the 10,000 metres was on, and the old fella took us to Donegal on our holidays. No TV, no, and here was me. Get that on the radio, I need to hear that on the radio. So I'm out in the car radio. This is your local parts there, Donegal 505. That's what you had to keep clicking around, got it. And the big thing was, the Brits believed Brenton Foster was going to win it. But when you're listening to it, you think Brenton Foster's going to win it. But Fearn wants to again come up good, like, you know. And then that was his double in 72, his double in 76. And I don't think that double has ever been done since. I don't think so. But 1980, the 10,000 metres again. Who come along? The great man that died last year, or in round the same time as Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was all over the TV, and there wasn't one word about the great murder shifter. The wee man from Ethiopia with legs up to his armpits at 10,000 metres. And could he finish? If you've seen one of them races now, we should have a screen with 10,000 metres going tonight. Yifter, unbelievable. 1984, you had 7 men across, 25 laps, 20 metres to go, 7 men across the track. Alberto Cova from Italy pipped it. 2 seconds between 7 of them. 1988, Seoul, I'm lost. Who's going to tell me who won it in 88? Can't mind. But anyway, 92 we had the first of the Africans really coming, well, as in Moroccans. Khaled Scar in Barcelona. 96 was one of the greatest sporting moments. People don't realise it unless you're in the athletics. The 10,000 metres, Selassie first Paul Turgat. Now, Paul Turgat sent one of his teammates out on the 5th mile, and he says, I want you to run that mile as hard as you can. Why? To try to kill Selassie's sprint finish. He ran 4:04 for that mile, and then Turgat hit. And Selassie still pipped him on the line. There's a great photo of 2 boys going over the line in the Sunday Times. and both of them, their feet was still that far off the line going over the line. And then in 2000, they were back at it again. Unbelievable times, like, you know. Unbelievable times. Then we went to 204, and of course Bikili come. You know what I mean? And Bikili was there at 24. Beijing, Bikili was there again, but we had all the buzz was about our old friend Bolt. But I was stuck 10,000 metres, one of the greatest runners ever, Bikili. And then of course, big party time, 2012, Mo. One man went to mow the meadow, and Mo mowed it there, you know. But 10,000 metres, you're right, it is the best event on the track, you know, and it is every year, it is, I don't care what anybody says, that's been the highlight, like, you know. And it's good that you said, there you go, 10,000 metres. Now, what else could I ask you? Apart from an Olympic final, say, apart from, because we all want to win an Olympic final, that's what we want to do. We want to stand on the rostrum Olympic final day. But it doesn't happen for too many of us. Apart from Olympic final, what race would you like to win? Hey, that's the race you'd like to win.
Unfortunately, I can't win the 5k because women have 3k, so I'm going to say Armagh International 3k.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be great to win that race.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Probably obviously moving on to the marathons, it would be fantastic to go to some of the big city marathons and win there. You know,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Berlin, there's Chicago, there's London,
Dublin?
Dublin. Yeah, I mean, something like that. Yeah, but obviously you can't look. Championship medals is what every athlete wants and what every athlete trains for. But yeah, probably a big city marathon would be good as well.
And not to look too far ahead, what about this coming cross-country season?
Yeah, so
The coaching.
next stop is back to cross country. I haven't done cross country since 2015, which was the European cross country as an under 23 in here in France. So yeah, we're gearing up for the European cross country, which is in Holland this year, on the 9th of December. So a few cross country races before then, and getting out there. And
There's a wee trip for you to Holland, the European cross. Yeah, good. We'll all cheer on Emma. Yeah, we hope anyway. You know,
Self, Dermot, and
that-
Stuart already booked their tickets?
Yes, if I can go, I'll be gone. I'm dead right. Life's too short. You need to live it. You know. But can I think any more questions? Listen, we're going to open these questions to the floor now. Anyway, Mark.
Emma, all I can just say is that you know, you've been an inspiration to a lot of people here ago, in particular a lot of these youngsters here as well. And within this stuff, we get to see you performing on TV, the European Championships in Berlin during the summer, or even the Great North Run recently as well. And my question is really for Eamon. Eamon.
Thanks, Mark. Your questions for the cameraman.
But you know, Eamon, it's absolutely, you know, chock-a year, like in terms of Gold Coast Commonwealth Games, European Championships, and Great North Run as well for Emma. You know, and when does the planning start for that summer, that block of races? In you would say is you know, quite a confined, compressed period of time. You know, does that start a year in advance or even further back? And as well as that, how do you factor in the recovery element for each of those championships? Because obviously I'd say that it can be very, very draining from, you know, bearing in mind the travel from Australia, the whole hype of European Championships, etc. as well. So when does it start, Eamon?
Well, the plan for the Commonwealth Games started in 2016, as Emma said, when the two of us realised that moving up from 15 and 3k was going to be our distance. So it was really 2 years in the planning, and nothing got in the way of that. That was the whole focus. No one or nobody got in the way of it, and she stuck to my plan, and that's the way it has to be. And we're already focusing now on Tokyo in 2020. Now the cross-country season, we didn't do it because the Commonwealth Games was the main priority, and we were just too afraid of getting injuries. So we're just focusing that for basically 2 years, and it'll be a 2 year plan from now to Tokyo. Main thing is to go out and nail the standard early, and hopefully if we get it in London, then we'll have a whole year to work on that, and that includes the humidity in Tokyo is going to be the biggest thing. I mean, you're going to talk 38 degrees with maybe 80-90% humidity, so that's going to have to play a big part. But we did build a humidity chamber at our home, which was a big help in the Commonwealth Games. You know, and it was a big help when she was in Thailand for the World University. games. There is one down in Sinai, but it's very hard to get into, and they don't do it round a coach's plan. It'll be their way or the highway, and that's not the way we work. So it isn't. So it's really 2 years, So well, and hopefully it'll come to fruition when she's named in February 2020.
You mind? Can I just ask you a question?
You can, Vincent.
To do with one of the biggest challenges for you is maybe lack of competition for Emma. Training. Like I've returned to the track of late, and I'm getting back into this word. I'd say Emma pounded out the sessions on her own, not in a group. Is that a challenge, or is that just what you prefer? I mean, would you not be, if you could hook into a male athletes who could maybe push her, if there might be a few of them, or maybe very few around who could actually, is that a challenge, or just is that you prefer? Emma, is that the challenge you have in this local area? Who's going to help you?
No, it's not a challenge. She goes out and she does everything that we set out with a clock on the whistle. She has to run the race on her own, she has to do the half marathon on her own, and she has to do the marathon on her own. So there's no point in getting into a group of she's not going to have round her. And she's quite happy. She's actually far better running
just
on her
curious,
own.
it's a thing I'm thinking of, some
I
people
think-
do hook up with male athletes who can maybe.
No, I always get asked this question quite a lot, and even from athletes as well. Like when I'm at races, when you're sharing rooms with other girls before races, and we're just chatting about who you train with, and I'm like, I've got a group of girls, and some of my sessions are on my own, but I never consider them to be on my own because Eamon's always there. I'm not constantly, running with a watch on. I'm not starting and stopping the watch, or Eamon's there, and as I say, we work off a whistle sometimes too, for pace and that. And if Eamon sets me a session, I can do that on my own. As I say, because Eamon's there timing and the pace is there. So I don't necessarily. I get what you mean. Would it not help? But I think if each rep is a specific time, I'm set, a target of that time for each rep, the recovery. I can do it on my own, and as Emma says, you do go out into a race on your own, and you are running on your own, but
Maybe just to come back on that question, if I coached the people, yes, I would do it, but if I didn't coach the people, I wouldn't integrate them into the session, because they necessarily wouldn't listen to me. Now, I used to coach Kerr McGeehan, and Emma trained with her, and I had two fellas here coached as well, and they helped her out immensely during her major competitions, but I wouldn't integrate people who I don't coach because they won't listen to me, and then they just mess up the session.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
What big changes are you going to make moving from 10k up to marathon in terms of the training? Significantly increased miles?
Oh yeah, well we're going to have to increase the mileage, alright, increase the sessions, longer reps, more often, increase our tempo run. I don't know if a lot of people here do a tempo run, but to me it's the best run you'll ever do, if it's done properly, and you go out and you tempo and you don't race, but just add miles. And make sure nutrition's alright, and just continue. At the minute, our maximum tempo would be 50 minutes on a Thursday. That will increase to maybe 65 maximum. 65 minutes, and that's what we do that on a Thursday.
Have you got heart rate monitor and stuff like that? Or?
The only heart rate monitor I use is my brain and the stuff that I learned from my coach, whose son's sitting beside me.
The thing that you need to say about tempo runs, because there is a lot of people using tempo runs now, but in most places, if you look at tempo runs, they're finishing up a race, and that's not a tempo run. Eamon doesn't use heart rate. I try to get all my athletes to use heart rate, and they can just go the top end zone 4 where they know they can hold it, and the last mile and a half, if they want to tip up on in the zone 5, away they go, and you're not going to do no harm. But you're able to say that you're not in zone 5 the whole road. But really, people using tempo runs need to be careful. It's a tempo run, not a race. When people finishing, that is, if you make too many sessions hard in a race, you're asking for trouble, Sorry, Michael.
Emma, I know yourself and Eamon this years, and it's been a pleasure with both of you. Everyone sees you and the great results, and as we see tonight, like Eamon's back there, a few people have fired questions at him, and it's great to see the both of you speak like you speak, we this, we that, and that's brilliant to see. Don't mean to get personal, but do you just put 100% if he says do this, I do it? Is there a back and forward? Oh, Eamon, I don't know, I don't think you're right, or is it just? You know what I mean?
What are you trying to ask them there? Does Eamon ever piss her off?
You know what I'm saying? Is it just if
No, I know
he
what you
makes
mean.
there where you're thinking, God, I don't know.
A lot of people say, especially my mum will be like, we're going out to race Eamon is there, we're going out to do this. My mum's like, we? And you're like, well, it is we. You know, Eamon's there at the track when I'm there at the track. We both, you know, without Eamon's planning and all his preparation, I wouldn't have the faintest of clue what to do myself. I think, you know, it is just a team. It's the both of us. We work just as hard as each other, and it's a matter of, in 2016, I do remember just thinking, Eamon said to me one time, you know, I wouldn't get you to do a session if I didn't think you were capable of it. And I wouldn't put you into a race if I didn't think you were going to succeed in it and do well. And I just really take that on board. So every time I turn up to a session, I get told what it is, and I'm like, okay, you sort of, you know, taken back by it maybe, and you're going, well, it's set for a reason. Eamon believes I should be able to do it, and I can do it. It's not going to be easy, it's not going to be pretty, but I can do it. And I think from that side of things, I would never second guess. You know, if Eamon tells me to go out and run for 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes, or this session or this tempo, that's what I go and do to the very nearest second as best. You know, you go out, because there's no point going out and running for, you know, 56, 57 minutes when you're supposed to be doing a 50-minute run. You know, there's a reason every single day that my training is set, and I mightn't necessarily know that reason myself, but Eamon has set it for a reason, so I just stick to it, and that keeps injuries away as well. You know, you're not running more than you should be, you're not running harder than you should be, you're doing everything that's your coach sets, and it's there for a reason.
Thank you.
Well, just on that, this man sent me a quote from Kipchoge after the Berlin Marathon, and he was asked how he's so confident in races, and he says because he believes in the Saxons and believes in his coach.
Yeah.
Have a think about it.
Yeah.
So you do. The problem is today, I think, is there's so much information on Facebook and the internet and stuff where it's all very conflicting. You need to find the key. I think a good running at a high level is find a good coach and sticking with them. And I say this quite often as well. If you're going to trust a coach, trust him for at least 6 months. You know, if you see any progress in 6 months, happy days. You don't move on to another coach. Nothing seems like success. I'm sitting up there very successful. The coaching's working. You don't need to ask anything after, really.
Yeah. Well, this man's experience, but you're right about the internet and the Facebook. You need to watch. There's a lot of boys out there that's not experienced putting things up and putting sessions up. You know, I've seen me run along with some of the boys, and they've said, "I've seen a great session on the internet, blah blah blah, brilliant session." I'm going, right, what is it? And I go home and I get it up and I look at it, and it's not a great thing on the internet. Not the facts, it's a very poor thing, you know. And just because you either pick it up wrong or you don't know what you're doing, and you look at that and you think it's something, and you could be out hammering like, but. He's right again, like Eamon's got the experience, he's there, you know, 45 years in athletics, you know what I mean, and you know, they're together more than 6 months, like, you know, you know, yeah. But here's hoping it'll be good, but surely you're spot on it, like, you know, spot on it. Connor.
Just go back to your schools, silvers and stuff, and Eamon as well. After that, if you had any hiccups or any doubts about continuing on and running, how did you get over them? How did Eamon help? As a junior, what drove you to keep going? Because I personally have a very lazy junior with talent. I want to push on, but I don't want to push on, if you know what I mean. So how do you motivate somebody like that?
Get Eamon to coach him. You'd be baldier than me, you would, in no time. Sorry, Emma, sorry.
I think for me, I've always been motivated to train and to race, but as I say, we do all go through those times when you don't necessarily, you can't put your finger on why you're getting niggles all the time, and you know, things aren't working, and I think you just have to sort of ride it out. But as you know, you can't push somebody into the sport, and I haven't come from a sporting family. You know, I've no international athletes in my family at all. It's just come very naturally to me, and I've just failed that way, so I've never had pressure from home. I've never had pressure from anybody sort of pushing me to go to train, to race. But I think, you know, if it's something that is your son, daughter, yeah, I think if they want to, they'll naturally progress to it. And you know,
he doesn't want to, but he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to, yeah. I mean, they're still young. You know, there's skills competitions, and at that age it should be fun. It should be enjoyable. It's about laying down the foundations of enjoying the sport as well. And I was very fortunate that whenever I was that age, my sport was very, very enjoyable. I only had 1 day of training per week, and then that just naturally progressed. But I think it's a hard one to push somebody towards the sport if they don't want to do it, you know, but you never know.
I try to get somebody else to do the pushing for me, but it doesn't work either.
I mean,
We're getting there. It's a long process. It'll be a very long process, but
I think if they're, you know, different sports, when I was a junior and that, I was still playing different sports, and I think that's important too, but you do just naturally progress, and I naturally progress towards running, and I hope for your sake that happens, and they do, but yeah, it's just one of those things, and hopefully they will.
aye, fingers crossed is right. Might need more than a fingers crossed, but we'll see. You know. Anybody else? Hands up, come on.
I had a question that was leading on from Mark's question at the start. We had a very hot Irish summer here, and really hydration was something that we probably struggled with. With your experience in the Gold Coast, have you any advice or tips for us in case we get high temperatures again next summer?
2 litres of water a day.
Yeah, just
Electrolytes or?
no, I don't tend to, no. I think if you're hydrated before you go out running as well, and then hydrate afterwards. Obviously longer runs when I was in the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
There was some bottles of water on the way. I think when you're at school and stuff like that, it's just easier. Just when I remember back to my school days, it was just a bottle of water in the blazer pocket, and just sort of getting into that habit as the girls took a drink. I think just getting into that habit.
Was there anything extra you needed to do when you were
No, I
in
don't think. I
course,
think
or
just
were you
basic.
being advised
Just
on?
keep it basic. You know, you can get what you need. You're just being hydrated. Or
It's just training yourself over that period of months to keep drinking, keep drinking. You get into a good habit, that's it. You know, and as Sean said, 30 minutes after you run, make sure you're eating, you know.
and obviously more if you're in Australia and stuff like that. You know, obviously you have to be mindful.
Did you wear spikes?
Do I wear spikes?
Did you wear spikes?
When I was in Berlin and Australia?
No, like our age.
Yeah, I did, yeah. What did I wear? I think I wore Brooks. And I'm not just saying that, I was a Brooks.
Yeah, we had this wee discussion there.
Well, she used to have a Brooks kit and then she got injured and then she was dropped, so that was But no, it wasn't you.
John!
Speaking some tonight.
Yeah, I definitely wore
I
spikes.
check onto your chair.
That would have been good.
Yeah. Well, we actually were saying there earlier that Eamon used to get a lot of the wee Nike mayflies off us. Did you and all the girls in
they
the
all
track
wore
and
them,
Belfast
yeah.
would all wore them, but me and Dermot actually have a pair of them each hid up the stairs.
Well, I actually have a pair of them in my garage signed by Sonia and Eamon Coughlin that they done for me.
Yeah.
But we only, to go back to that question about specs, we only wear specs when we're doing a really fast session. Anything else we wear racers, or you're just ordinary trainers, depends. You know, now if she was doing a lot of her marathon training, like 2400s, she was just wearing her normal trainers. But if we were doing something really sharp, like say 8 300s in 48 seconds, get into spikes. So it is. But don't wear them all the time because they can hurt your Achilles and your calves and stuff. You know, you don't really need them unless you're racing.
Just you know, obviously you've had a great couple of years. You know, within those couple of years, have you been, you know, any illness or injuries, and how did you react to that? I'm sure you weren't.
Touch wood, no, because, you know, as I say, going away from the track, looking after yourself, resting, eating, all of that percentage. But I think one of the things about my training is, yeah, obviously moving up to 5,000 and 10,000, a little bit more miles in, longer sessions, as Emma said, longer tempos. I always find that the sessions that I'm set and I do them on times, and I walk away from those, the sessions always have a purpose, and I'm not walking away from those sessions. I'm not crawling over the finish line. I'm not crawling off the track afterwards. So every single day after that session, I can go away, I can recover, and the next day I can get up and I can do my training. And I think that's really comes down to Eamon's coaching and his plan of his sessions. You know, there's no sort of days where I have a session and the next day I can't run. You know, I'm too sore to run, I'm too tired to run. It's all, you know, that sort of just being sensible and the sessions, get enough out of the sessions, but also that you can still, you know, sort of have that flow each day, and touch wood, that's worked. You know, not doing anything crazy and then not being able to follow through.
But we do have regular physio and ice baths, whether some people believe in them or not, and good nutrition.
So
As well as plenty of sleep. And her easy days are easy. You know, some people might see her run and think she's
what does an
flying.
easy day look like? Yeah, that was my other question. What does an easy day look
There's some
like?
people see her run down the towpath and easy day and say she's flying. It's not. It's her level of fitness
Yeah,
and her level of the time she should be running her per mile in
yeah.
is totally different to
Yeah,
others.
of course.
It's an easy run. You go out and you just run dead relaxed.
How long normally? Like,
At the minute on a Wednesday she's probably doing about 80 minutes. You know,
and
I
that's-
work on 3 sessions. I mean, she has a session on a Tuesday. In track season, we do 2 track sessions Tuesday, Thursday, and a grass on Saturday. And this time of the year, I always keep 1 track session in every week, all year round, because you need speed. So I keep that going. She does a tempo on a Thursday, and we do grass on a Saturday. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is easy running. On Friday, she does an easy half hour, 40 minutes, and then she's in the gym. You know.
You go.
I mean, answer my question there, but would you be doing much strength and conditioning work in your current plan, and would you be looking to change that in going to the marathon? You know, the debate about putting in the S&C along with your marathon preparation?
Not really, but just, again, my opinion, S&C is the same as doing more reps. You just go in, you would do more reps. We don't lift heavy weights, but what we do plenty of repetitions, but we make sure they're done right. And it's not about sort of all lifting weights. You do step-ups with a bar, medicine ball work. There's different things you can do with S&C. But yeah, she does it twice a week, and we'll continue that on, you know.
Anybody else?
Oh, don't be shy, come on.
Do you find it difficult to going from being in school and running and not having like lots going on to now being older and maybe not having, you know, trying to balance your athlete life with your work life? Do you find that difficult, or?
I think when you're at school and you're in 9 to 3, I think it's very easy to fall into a routine. You know, go to school at 9 to 3, come home, do your run, or, you know, have a bit of a break and then you're maybe a session in the evening, and that's what we always followed. But for me, I like structure, I like routine. So now it's like I do my run in the morning, I'll come home, I'll get washed, I'll get changed, I'll get food, and then I'll be maybe going and having a nap or going and resting, reading, that sort of thing, and then I'll be out again in the evening. So I think for me that's really worked, is a routine, just sticking to that routine. You know, sometimes I do hear a lot of people talking about it, like that when they're at school, you know, they leave their run and they don't know when to do it when they come home from school. Do you do it right away or do you do it in the evening? But I think having that structure, and obviously it's the same when you're working as well. You know, you've hard days in work and you come home and you maybe don't want to get out for a run, but if you have a set time, you finish work at 5 p.m, 6 p.m, it's coming in, getting changed, getting out every single day at, you know, 6:37, having that routine, then you'll follow it, and you know, the body gets used to doing things at that time, and you get, you know, you never have days then where you're sort of missing training.
How many days are double ups at the minute?
Probably about 5.
5 double
Yeah,
ups?
about 5, yeah. But I mean, it's not crazy double days. It's
Yeah, I know.
easy running sessions. But yeah, it breaks up the day, and it's nice, as I say, I come back and I rest and I recover and ready for the next one, so I'm not...
So this is the thing about a lot of people training for the marathon, and they're training, say, 4 days, and they're doing 1 long run, a sort of half a long run, 2 short runs. Like a lot of people, when we were training, a recovery day was 60 minutes in the morning, 60 minutes in the evening. That was probably about 12 miles. That was your recovery day. But that was 12 miles you put in the bank very comfortable, like, you know. So people take about recovery day, they have to have a day off, that's a recovery day. Really, you should be doing some sort of running, like, you know, if you can, like, you know, especially if you want to run a marathon, you want to be on your feet as much as possible, get as many miles in as possible without hurting, and see. But then you have to watch where work is, you know. If you're doing 8 hours, you need to be careful with doubling up, you know. But double ups is definitely, you know, there's nobody out there that's running at a high standard not doubling up, like, you know. And people say train twice a day, what should that, you know what I mean, like, you know.
Well, training twice a day is good, but you can also go into the pool and aqua jog as one of your sessions, which is a low, it's still good intense training. It's a recovery session as well, you know, which I firmly believe in, and she's done at least once a week for the last 2.5 years.
Right, anybody else? Tilly.
If you weren't a full-time athlete, do you think you would be doing a job sport-related, for example, like physiotherapy or?
No, I don't think so, no. I did study in Stranmillis over a Bachelor of Science in Health, Physical Activity and Sport. So I did obviously do a degree that's sort of in and around sport to some perspective of it. Obviously some of it definitely wasn't. But no, I don't think I would have been a physio or anything like that. I did quite a few physios and doctors that in our group, our training group, but I just didn't fall that way. I think I would do something different. I think it's, if that's what you want to do as a career and that's the path that you want to follow, certainly, but I like to have something different from running.
Who's your hero, or who are you looking up to?
Good one, good one.
Who would you most admire?
Jeremy Ian.
I would say Eamon, yeah, because, you know, obviously all the planning that Eamon puts in and, you know, you got to follow that, but obviously moving to the marathon, I think people always look to the likes of Paula Radcliffe, and I'm no different, and I've been very fortunate to meet Sonia Sullivan on several occasions, and you just admire sort of the work and the dedication that they put into their athletics, and certainly Sonia's been very vocal about that, and I've read all of their books, and I would sort of look up to them and what they've achieved, but I think I just focus on myself as well, and every single day when I do what I'm set to do, that gives me confidence and belief in myself to sort of go my own pathway.
Good.
Any other sporting heroes?
Probably outside of running, the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan. I've been very fortunate to meet Ronnie. He actually came to Highgate this year to watch, and he was there last year as well, so yeah, to achieve what he's achieved in snooker, if I could achieve that in running, then you'd be doing something right. But yeah, probably Ronnie and Sonia Sullivan as well, yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know it, Ronnie Sullivan, Ronnie the Rocket, super snooker player, is a big run fan and a big runner, like, you know. But he probably runs quicker around the snooker table than he does run, like, you know. But he's a big fan of going to Highgate, and he's a big run fan, like, you know, one day. I don't know.
He's ran 35 minutes for 10k.
He's done alright, that's right. Probably just sub it, yeah.
34:20.
34:20.
Was it 34:20?
Yeah, good. Right, come on folks, anybody else? We're going to finish this up soon on time, lucky enough.
You find it difficult jumping when you jumped, obviously you've gone up the half marathon there, your mileage would have had to go up, like your weekly mileage, I don't know, whatever you, and then, like, you might have found that alright, now going from there onwards, like, did you find it much of a change? No?
And the half marathon we done the Great North Run, we kind of done that off 10,000 metre training. Obviously it was just over a month from I competed in Berlin, so we kind of were dipping our toe in the water, see where we're at off 10,000 metre training. But even the jump.
You need to jump then if you're going to go on to the full. But no, I'm going to leave it out for a change.
I'll leave the plan and all the but yeah, definitely I'm going to have to do longer tempos. The reps that I would do on the track, you know, say 400s, are going to have to come up to like 600s and that sort of thing, and the longer runs. But you know, I enjoy all that training, and even going from sort of 1,500 metre on the track and 3,000. The jump to 5,000, 10,000, it wasn't that dramatic because it's just all natural progression, and I do feel at ease at what I'm going to have to do for the marathon. You know, it's not going to be easy, but I think it's just going to naturally work its way in, you know, 10 minutes on the end of a long run, that sort of thing, build it up that way. It's just going to become natural then, as it was for moving to the 10,000.
On the week coming up to a marathon, what would you be eating?
I'd probably just stick to normal foods. I've got my marathon breakfast, toast, some jam and banana, and I think what we're going back to saying, I think it was yourself, Dermot, said about get your shoes and your socks and your shorts right, get your food right for your marathon days, and I've got that worked in, but I think people can overthink things leading up to the week, and you can change something that can drastically just, you know, ruin the race if you change things, but I like to keep things simple.
suppose that question could maybe be aimed at Dermot, because Emma hasn't actually done a marathon yet, so she hasn't really tapered for that week. But you can ask the main man who's ran a couple of sub 2:30 marathons what he had or done in the last week.
I don't mess with my food, you know what I mean? People will tell you about carbo loading, and you start and take too many gels on the Saturday, you could be sitting on the toilet instead of running a marathon, you know what I mean? So just don't mess about.
What did you, instead of taking gels and stuff, what did you take in the marathon?
Well,
Start with what do you eat for breakfast? What do you eat for breakfast?
my breakfast porridge, and I just
And
porridge.
everybody's got it in their bags.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, porridge is the best slow release carbo you can get, like really, or close on anyway, you know. I still would be 4 hours, like before the race, you know. And when I was racing, pretty much, I would always have been at 4.5 hours. But I know some of my mates who has run sub 30 minutes for 10k. He had trouble with his stomach. He would have been 5 hours, eating for 5 hours. People talk about carbo loading. Yet I've seen him running 10k's in under 30 minutes, and he was 5 hours before he stood in the line, you know. But don't mess with food. The day is coming up for just eat what you know. Keep it plain, keep it simple, and stick to what you know. You know what I mean?
Eat what you normally eat. Sorry.
If the marathon's usually early, what time's Dublin start at this year's 9 o'clock start?
Yeah, 9.
A lot of that carbo loading, really, you'd nearly the porridge on the night before. You know what I mean? If you get your dinner at 6 o'clock before you get into that bed, because you'll be getting in early, have a wee bowl of porridge or something and get in, like, you know, and then get up, get on the porridge or your toast or bananas, whatever it is, like, you know, and get it. Don't go any closer than 3 hours anyway, like, you know, and then all you need to do is sip on water. And then during it, well, I don't know, I use flat coke, like, not all flat coke, but I use flat coke, and my theory behind that was full of sugar and full of caffeine, and it give you a good hit, like, you know. And I wasn't the only one using it that day, like that day, I was over 50 and I run 2:32, and it was 9th Irishman, and I was standing there to finish, and between the 9 of us, 4 of us was using flat coke, you know.
How far into the marathon did you start using the coke?
Really? How far did you start injecting? No, I actually sniffed it. But what? Early on, I was just on an isotonic drink now, you know, because I sweat a lot, and there does be a big difference. Because, like, we are even coming. Some people come in here and they say, "What should I be wearing on a cold day?" Like, we have boys in the club that don't take their gloves off until the end of May. We have boys that don't wear gloves right through the winter. Temperature control is everybody's own thing, like, you know. Like, I've seen me, as soon as I get out, I need a t-shirt, sweat's dripping off me. There's 3 or 4 of our boys running with us, they never take their jackets off, you know. So I sweat a lot, so I needed an isotonic drinking. Now, I'm old school, Diarlite, that's what I was using. Diarlite, and Angela was going round the bike and nearly got arrested over the, you know, because she shouldn't have been on the course, you know. But I was Diarlite, and from about halfway on we were using flat coke, you know.
Yeah. So you took the Diarlites during the race?
Up to about, just after halfway I was switched on to the coke, you know. So we took the Diarlites early, like, you know. But no gels, I didn't use a gel, you know, but yet I know people that would use 4 gels, 5 gels, and they seem to think that works for them. So if you're going to use gels, you need to practice a wee bit, like, you know, because it used to be, they're nearly certain sure people were going to 17 or 18 mile, a gel stopped, they were getting very fatigued, went for a gel, half a mile down the road, there was a number of people getting sick. You know, you need to know what you're taking, you need to just be careful, like, you know. I think 8 mile and 16 mile, 2 gels is enough, but other people go for more, like, you know. But there was no real gels in our days, it was like, that's what it was, you know, you just, you know, took on what you had, you know. But I think, you know, Diarlite is probably the best isotonic drink you'll get, like, you know. And it'll cost you very little. Just go into the chemist, tell them you have diarrhea, and they'll give you plenty of it.
That's your cutie.
But,
That was my video.
Your video? Was that on the video?
Yeah, that's the bit I got.
That's the bit you got, good.
Who makes Diarlite there?
I don't know.
Sanofi.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do you work for them?
Yeah.
all free they are, like the next night we're having this here. You know?
You should have one for everybody in the house then, everybody in the audience.
They are like good, you know, and oh sorry.
Whenever you're
run at that sort of level, 2:32 or something? What was your typical sort of preparation, marathon plan, you know, your top end, what are you hitting mileage a week?
See,
Weeks
now,
out, 4 weeks out, you know.
see, to be honest, I was probably running. See, I was working probably about at least 50, maybe 60 hours a week. I was putting in a lot of time there. Now, I did run on
That
average.
wasn't in the shop.
You know, well.
No, you were plumbing.
Oh, aye, well, I might have been too, but I was always doing, you know. But I always tried to hit 10 times a week, you know. And I could double up at the weekends better because I would get a break, and I could double up then on the Wednesday. Me not being a great morning person, it was hard for me to get up at 6 o'clock and say I'm going to run for an hour. It just wasn't me, like, you know. So I made the effort Wednesday morning. I done a fair run on Saturday morning, done a fair run on Saturday evening, run somewhere between 16 and 20 mile in the Sunday morning, and run 5 mile in the Sunday evening. Now, I'm a great believer in running slower rather than quicker. Like, there was one run in Gosford that a certain club runner was to run with me on the Sunday, and we're running 4 laps of Gosford, which was, you know, when you lie for the hills, it's pretty much 24 mile. And I run it in 3:28. Now, he had phoned me on the Friday and says, I can't do Sunday, I'm going to have to go tomorrow and do it. And he run it in 3:08. And then he was phoning me Sunday afternoon, how long did it take you? And I said it was 3:28. He says, I was 3:08. And he was telling me, and I was saying to myself, he's went too quick. Now, in the marathon, he finished 31 minutes behind me. You know, and I've been in Gosford, and people have run past me in Gosford training for a marathon, and I know they're going to finish anything from a half an hour or an hour behind me. And people get carried away with everything. A long run's going to be hard, whether it's 16 mile or 20 mile. So it doesn't have to be fast. If you make it a wee bit slower, take on the fluids, you shouldn't carry as much fatigue the next day. You know what I mean? So the next day, if you've run, say, a 20 mile on your Sunday or whatever day you do your long run, if you can do 60 minutes the next morning, 60 minutes the next evening, you have another 12 mile in the bank. And I've done things like that. But an awful lot of my running was easy, like, you know. I just tried to get miles in the bank, you know. And I do have to say, you know, like I run 2:26, but I believe to this day I should have run 2:20. I just didn't get the time, and I probably didn't have the know-how then that I have now. That 2:32 at Dublin probably should have been a sub 2:30, but I just didn't get enough time, like, you know. But, you know, I did go away for 10 days, and in them 10 days that I was away, where I wasn't working, I was running one day between 15 and 20 mile, the next day between 25 and 30, the next day between 15 and 20, and the next day, that just kept going for the 10 days, just got miles on my feet. Back into bed after every long run, 2 hours. Tried not to sleep, because if I take a sleep, it seemed to disturb my night sleep, you know, and I didn't want that disturbed. But that was just a lot of easy running, like, you know. And you get fit, you know.
So you wouldn't have been hitting Tuesday night, Thursday night, hitting tempos and all that crap, no?
Not, we did do, if I was on my own, which I mostly was, you have to do a session that you enjoy. Now, are you going to go and do a big tempo session or what? I don't know. You know, you can enjoy tempos as long as you can keep them down. But I was a great man for fartlek, or what I called mixed stamina. One of my runs was, it was like the watch. Zone 2 for 10 minutes, Zone 3 for 10 minutes, Zone 4 for 10 minutes, back again, Zone 2 for 10 minutes, Zone 3 for 10 minutes, and Zone 4 for 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, which is taking you up to 60 minutes, I might have been into Zone 5. Back again, the 30 minutes again, 10 minutes in Zone 2. And the problem was, see, when you started to get tired, getting it down to Zone 2 was hard work. You nearly had to walk. If you had a hill, you couldn't get it down to Zone 2. The next 10 minutes was Zone 3 again. The next 10 minutes then, I would have tipped Zone 4 and I would have hit into Zone 5 the last 5 minutes. And you finished that session, usually with about 13 mile run. And it was, you had 30 minutes of jog, you had 30 minutes of steady, and you had 30 minutes hard, you know.